One ordinary day begins, without any warning that something unusual is about to happen. People move through their routines, walking through streets, driving to work, talking with others, completely unaware that within seconds, everything will change. Then, in a single quiet moment, the world stops. Not gradually, not with noise or confusion, but instantly. Birds freeze in midair, cars stop in place, and people remain completely still as if time itself has paused. Only one person remains unaffected, able to move, think, and observe what has just happened. At first, the situation feels impossible to understand. The silence is overwhelming because all motion has disappeared. There are no sounds of traffic, no voices, no movement at all. The person begins to walk slowly, testing whether this is real. Every step confirms the same reality. The world is frozen, and they are the only one who can move within it. Curiosity quickly replaces confusion. They begin exploring the environment, walking through empty streets where people are paused in the middle of conversations, frozen expressions captured in a single moment. A cup of coffee hangs in midair where it was spilled. A ball remains suspended during a game, and leaves are locked in place as if the wind itself has stopped. At first, the situation feels like a strange opportunity. With no one else moving, there are no rules, no interruptions, and no limits. The person can go anywhere without being noticed. Doors can be opened, places can be entered, and objects can be moved freely. Time no longer feels like a restriction. Hours pass, or at least what feels like hours. But without clocks moving, it becomes difficult to measure how much time is actually passing. The freedom begins to feel exciting. The person experiments with the frozen world, moving objects slightly, observing details that would normally go unnoticed, and exploring spaces that are usually busy and inaccessible. But as the experience continues, something begins to change. The excitement slowly fades and is replaced by a deeper realization. Every person they encounter is completely still, unable to respond, unable to react, unable to even notice their presence. Conversations cannot happen. Reactions do not exist. The world feels empty, even though it is full of people. The silence that once felt peaceful now feels heavy. The absence of movement becomes unsettling. Without interaction, time begins to feel different. Moments stretch longer, and the lack of response from others creates a growing sense of isolation. The person begins to understand that freedom without connection is not the same as freedom with others. They try to interact with the frozen world in meaningful ways, adjusting small details, leaving objects in different places, hoping to create some kind of change for when time resumes. They begin to wonder how the world will react when everything starts moving again. Will people notice the differences, or will everything feel normal as if nothing ever happened? As the experience continues, the emotional weight grows stronger. The person starts to miss something they never thought about before. Simple human interaction. A conversation, a reaction, even a disagreement now feels valuable because it represents connection. Without it, the world feels incomplete. Eventually, after what feels like a long and quiet period, something begins to shift. The air changes slightly, and movement slowly returns. Sounds come back, objects fall, and people continue their actions exactly where they left off, unaware that anything unusual happened. The frozen moment disappears completely. The world resumes its normal flow as if nothing had ever changed. For everyone else, time moved forward without interruption. But for the one person who experienced it, everything feels different. They now understand something that cannot be easily explained. Time is not just about movement or progress. it is also about shared experience. The value of each moment comes not from being alone with unlimited freedom, but from being part of a world where others are present, reacting, and living alongside you. As life continues normally, one quiet question remains. If given the chance again, would someone choose complete control over time, or would they choose the unpredictable, shared moments that make life feel real?